Hello guys, it's your boy Mikael. You're welcome to Mikael Online TV. So if today is your first time of watching my videos, I beg you to please subscribe to my channel. And if you have already subscribed to my channel, please keep watching my videos, keep supporting me. I love you guys so much. Guys, welcome to another segment called This Obodo Life Self. So on this segment, we'll be giving you the regret the people in the diaspora have, the prices they have to pay for success. I mean, the everyday life of people in the diaspora, what they faces here, the kind of challenges they faces here. Guys, I will be starting this segment with the question I got from a friend of mine. So the guy's question was actually about why is it that people struggle to settle down in the diaspora, especially in Europe. He said, why is it that the African-born ladies, they prefer to date the fellow African-born guys than the ones that migrated to Europe for study, and that the African ladies who came here for studies are only looking for guys with papers. So guys, before I go ahead to address this question, I want to encourage you guys to please leave your comment below this video. Leave your answer, the suitable answer, whatever you think should be the suitable answer to this question. Leave it down below this video, okay? And we'll look into it as well. When I got this question from this friend of mine, I was not surprised, because it's something me personally, I've also experienced here in Europe. You see, girls that are born here, girls that are born by African parents, you see, most of them are confused. Okay, guys, don't get me wrong, okay? When I say most of them are confused, I mean that these girls are being brought up by African parents. And whenever they are at home, their parents want them to behave like Africans. But whenever these girls go out there, the society treats them like Europeans. If they go to school, they were treated like Europeans. Most of their friends are Europeans. So these girls are a kind of confused. Most of them are kind of confused. They don't know the kind of, the culture they want to follow. Sometimes they behave like Europeans. Some other times they behave like African. And combining these two behaviors is very difficult, That is why you see that most of them, it's always very difficult for them to, date migrants. Whether you came here for study, because they still regard you as the same. As far as you are here, you came from Africa. So guys, the first point I gave this guy was this. I told him that each time you go to these girls, each time you approach them, the first thing that comes to their mind is permit, because of state permit, that you're just coming to them because of state permit. That you don't love them, that there's nothing like love. The only reason why you're coming to them is because of state permit. And you see, most of this thing is because of the kind of teaching, the kind of upbringing they took from their parents, that each time they see a migrant, the only thing that comes to their mind is this guy is just coming because of state permit. So that is why they prefer to date only the European-born African guys, of which they know that those guys have their own state permit already. So each time those one come, they feel, okay, these guys are coming basically because of love, and they will open their hearts to those guys. As the second point is trust. You see, these girls that are born here in Europe, they have a very serious trust issue. You see, they hardly trust a migrant, and this is because of the experiences they had at home. If they were being brought up by a single mother, because of the things they experienced at home, the experiences they gathered at home from the way the father treated their mother. So this issue of trust remains a very big problem on them, and each time a migrant approaches them, they always have this feeling that, hey, this guy is just coming for paper. This guy doesn't love me, They just feel that they can't trust you, because of that experience they had from their father. So guys, the third point is because of the time for integration. You see, European countries, most of the European countries don't speak English. And if you are in those countries that do not speak English, even if it's those countries that speak English, as a migrant coming to a new country, you have to go through the process called integration for you to integrate yourself into the society. And in most cases, this take a lot of years, depending on the way the person, is focused, the kind of attention the person give towards himself being integrated into the society. So these girls, they always have this problem of the time is going to take you to get integrated into the society. The time is going to take you to get a job, because most of them, they doesn't have that patience to wait for you and just be there for you, waiting for you to get integrated, to get a job. And in most cases, they'll be looking on the other side at what kind of job is he going to get. I mean, as a person who cannot speak the language, even if you can speak the language, I mean, it's going to take time for you to get familiar with the language very well and speak it fluently in order for you to get a better job and, get well integrated into the societies. So these girls have this issue of time, they feel that the time is going to take this migrant to get integrated into the society is going to take time. And I mean, what kind of job is he going to get? Is he going to be doing a minimum wage job? They need people who are already integrated. That's why they always prefer those that are born here. Those who don't have any issue with integration, they are already integrated from birth. So they can always do any kind of job they prefer to do. So this is another point why these girls prefer those that are born here in Europe than those that are coming here as a migrant. As the fourth point, which was actually the final point that I gave this guy, was this fear. You see, these girls, they have this fear that after you've gotten your papers, after you've got your permit, your resident permit, that you might relocate and leave them here. And in most cases, they also feel that, whenever you are getting older, you may decide to go back to Africa, in which way they doesn't want to go back to Africa with you. So these guys, they have that issue of fear, they have that fear in them that you might relocate, because they feel that as a migrant, you have another home from your home country, but for them that are born here, and in most cases, most of them have never gone to their parents' country. They are born here and they are already naturalized here as a European. So now they have this fear that, hey, this guy might abandon me one day, and run away, just like the way my dad abandoned my mom. You see, and that thing will always be in their mind. And each time you approach them, these are some of the things that just bump up to their mind. So this is the points that I gave this guy, and this guy actually saw reasons in this point that I gave him, and he's actually satisfied with them all. So guys, that's all I have for today. Please do subscribe to my channel, write down below this video, like my video, and please share to your friends and well wishers. Take care and have a good day. Till next time, man. Peace out.